Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Jvrse, man, and we are back with another video. Hey, I'm doing something very, very different. I don't have any time to waste. I'm about to go ahead and dive into it. The podcast that I've been paying a whole lot of attention to and I've been watching is live right now, and I want us to tap in and just join in on the conversation. And y'all give me some feedback after we get a couple of little different things that's being said. I want y'all to tap in right now. This is the No Fugazee Podcast. Let's watch live, see what they're talking about. They were talking about single parent households not too long ago, and talking about if you get into a fire, if you're in a burning building, who would you want to come and save you? Would you want a man or would you want a woman? Both firefighters, but would you want a man or would you want a woman? It's a crazy conversation, but I want us to dive in. Let's not waste any time. Let's do it.
The study, before I even mentioned the study, I was already stating things that fathers just are good at that mothers aren't good at. I was stating things that mothers are good at that fathers aren't good at, like nurturing, and fathers are better at disciplining the kid, right? So there are things that men and women generally tend to be better at than one another.
This is live, by the way, y'all.
Men are just totally better than women overall. That's not the point, right? We all know that mothers do good. We need mothers and we need fathers. But when it comes to degeneracy, meaning that making wrong decisions and bad decisions, single mother households leads to more of that. Single father households do just as good as two parent households. Now, even when you have two parents, there are still exceptions to the rule. Not even exceptions to the rule. There are plenty of situations where the kids is in prison and still being a degenerate. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen. But generally speaking, when you differentiate the two and also look at similarities and differences, we see that the single mother households, they just breed more degeneracy. The single father households, they do just as good as the two parent households. That is a fact. And I also gave multiple examples earlier in the podcast to it.
So real quick, y'all, we're gonna keep it rolling. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think, and this is not going off no biblical standpoint. Y'all know we always coming from, a biblical standpoint. But which one do you think actually really does breed more degeneracy? Is it a single, mother household or a single father household? And don't think about it too much. Just think, just generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that. That's a question that's on the panel right now. Y'all think about that.
You could take this. If you take it, it'll help you out in life. You have to think in probabilities instead of thinking in possibilities, because anything is possible, right? So we could speak about the exceptions to the rule because that's anything is possible. But when we think about probabilities, what's the highest probability of success? You would never even mention a man trying to pull you out, a woman trying to pull you out of a burning building. You would say a man pulling you out of that burning building. Just like y'all all mentioned with sending your kid to a all men's daycare or all women's daycare. It's like, all men, let's not do that. Let me go more with the all women. So the thing is this, y'all more emotional than we are. Y'all thinking with the emotional side. So you want to kind of go with what suits you. You think that this is a gender war podcast, like I'm like going against women and I'm stating these facts that's making women look bad. No, this is a gender together podcast. Like, men and women do better together. We are better together than we are apart. So it isn't to crap on women and make men look up here. No, men know that most men are bums. You get what I'm saying? But that doesn't rattle y'all. But if I be like, most women are whores, y'all gonna be like, what? So it's just that the fact that you're listening to everything with your emotional lens, and then you're responding you're giving emotional responses instead of logical responses is what I'm saying. So think more in probabilities instead of possibilities, and it'll help you out to actually conduct more logical thoughts.
I disagree, but
yeah. I slightly disagree as well.
I disagree too. I mean, I'm not,
wow.
I'm not answering with emotion. I'm
logically.
I'm going with what makes sense, what's logical, and what the facts are.
Well, I gave you the facts. The only good question you had was when you said, "Well, what's one of the things that women or men that men do bad at single father households.
Right.
And I said that, well, there's no data on that. We're talking about degeneracy, and that's one of the metrics when you're looking, that's a metric of success or a metric of failure. So that's like the main thing. So it really doesn't even matter about the other things, right? It really doesn't matter when we're speaking about success. Now you could say that you had a question. You said, well, everyone's success is different in life, right? Well, when it comes to degeneracy, not really, because if you look at it morally is bad, if you look at it economically is bad, if you look at it any way, being a degenerate is bad. It's just a fact. So yeah, single moms breeds more degeneracy, so it's bad. Like, forget about the other maybe a good or bad thing that the other parent is doing. If they're breeding more degenerate kids, it is bad for society. God don't like it. Nobody likes it.
Can I ask a question?
Besides the prisons, because they make more money.
Are we looking at the fact that it's probably more single?
Yeah, they already differentiated it between
There's not
the
a lot
fact
of single fathers.
Yeah, I know, but they already did the metric. The study was already done to the point where they use the percentage. They based it off percentage. We already know that the percentage is more single moms than there are single dads. That's already a fact. But
which is also why
that even shows, even when a percentage is the same, it still does better.
Which is also why there's not too much data to prove that too. It's because when you think about a child going into, the system and, the parents are fighting for who's going to get the child, a lot of times the woman wins. The mother wins in that situation. So there isn't a whole lot of data that backs that up because we don't have the data to retrieve. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's about to move over to the super chats now. But y'all let me know what y'all think of this, man. Like, comment wherever y'all at, timestamp it. Let me know.
Holiday Tone sends in $2. He says, I don't agree with the truth. Shaking my head. Yo, cope skills. Okay. Let's see what else we got. We got Holiday Tone again, sends in $5. Appreciate your support, man. He says, construction workers, firefighters, military, police officers, women have priority in all those jobs because of affirmative action. Exactly. That's what I stated.
Keep going. It gets
we
better.
got Yen Zenergani. I think that's how I say it. Sends in $5. Ladies, please just keep it no Fugazi. Y'all making your own life HELL. It ain't that hard. Okay.
My
fair
life's
enough.
not hell, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Tony's saying she got a good life.
I do.
We got Malik Matrix sends in $2. He says, Shorty think this the WWE. He
That's
about
crazy.
You,
Right.
he's talking about you slamming dudes and how you could lift 200 pounds. But Holiday Tone says in $2. He says, Harlem, take it easy.
No.
Or you find Frank Castle.
Who the fuck is Frank Castle?
Frank
Shout
Castle
out
means
to,
that you
shout
get
out
kicked
to
out.
Fresh and Fit. That's Myron from Fresh and Fit. They call him Frank Castle when they kick out girls. Shout out to them. Good
You can't
podcast.
kick
But read
me
this
out.
one. This is good. This is good right there. You get into
I'm
it.
going down it. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Tony Barnett sends in $5. He says, Title 9, I think that is. What is that?
So I think that's Title 7.
Title 7. What is a V and two I?
Yes, that's
One
7.
of them titles. In the 1964 Civil Rights Act makes it illegal to hire or pay someone differently based on sex if the qualifications are the same. So that's it right there. So
Well, I mean, there's nobody's denying that it's illegal. I mean, that is a fact. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It doesn't
But
mean
if
that.
it does
but
happen,
even if it did happen,
the woman can easily just say, "Hey, look."
You have to be able to prove it.
Yeah.
That
You know what I
can
mean?
easily
Like, that's
prove-
not an easy thing to do.
But then it gets to the point that if someone, right, if a human being has this prejudice, because that's what it is, right, against women, right,
Or a bias.
same thing, a prejudice or bias against women, if they and they're not hiring women because or if they're paying women less and paying men more, well, as a businessman, even if they have when you have a business, you look at money, you want to make money. So I'm saying that their thoughts of making money would supersede their thoughts of being prejudiced. Because if they can get away with it, they would be like, okay, well, let me go ahead and just hire all of these women because I'll keep more money for myself. I'm not going to hire men, right? That's what I'm saying, that most human beings would go down that path.
I disagree.
But the fact that they can't because of this act that's in place, it's rules and regulations.
I agree.
You know a man is getting paid more than you, though, because I worked at a company where they put it in the contract where you can't discuss your salary.
The IRS will know.
They'll do an investigation and they'll be like, okay, you know what, she was right.
So why do they have that in contracts where you can't discuss your salary with other individuals?
No, it's less women in leadership because women don't have a natural proclivity to lead.
No.
Women aren't leaders.
Women are very much leaders.
Okay, now let's go around the panel.
Yeah.
Start.
Starting
with Harlem.
My Lord. Y'all, I don't intend to make this long, but I gotta hear this. Y'all tap in.
Who do you think, generally speaking, all, right?
Generally, everybody up, encompassing everybody.
Who do you think is better at leading? Men or women? And move your mic a little closer if you could.
That's a good question. I feel like...
You're going to. And generally speaking?
Generally speaking, it's 50-50 with me.
Gotta choose one. Somebody got a gun to your head. Choose one.
No fit, no in between, no lukewarm. Let's go.
See, your emotions is getting away from your logic.
Come on, they are.
That's what I said before, ladies.
I don't think
Come on, think of probabilities instead of possibilities. Is it possible that a woman can lead better than some of these beta males? I'm sure they can. Is it probable, though? Moving right along. Let's go to you. Thank you very much. Harlem, you know the truth, too. Speak it.
No, man. I would say a man. It depends on the man, but
of course it depends on the man, but generally. What about yourself?
I guess I would say a man.
Okay. What about yourself?
I think it's a ridiculous question.
Okay.
It's not answering the question.
What? Require an answer because you didn't want to answer one of the other questions.
Because leadership has no respect of gender.
It does.
It doesn't.
Okay, so if leadership doesn't have respect of gender, then
here we go.
We all know it's biological, right? So a man is less emotional, generally speaking, less emotional than women. Women are higher in trait neuroticism than men. So that means that they feel more negative emotions than men. So since they feel more negative emotions, they're more likely to do what y'all doing here. Not have the ability to answer questions or not have the ability to look in probability versus possibility. Because you're looking at it like, oh, this is going to make me feel bad or make someone else feel bad, so I'm not going to speak the truth.
Well, that's not where I'm coming from. I just feel like the
you don't feel like we're speaking the truth.
I just feel like it's a.
I feel like y'all speaking, which the term I hate, y'all speaking y'all truth, right? So most human beings have a perception of things, right? A perception is the ability to perceive things, but it's very unique to you, right? A perspective, only 2% of people tends to have that, and that's the art of looking out things outside of yourself.
Right.
So
creating new perspectives to reach the masses, y'all. That's what we're about here. Reality at Jvrse.
It's very subjective. That's how they view things. A small group of people, they tend to think of probabilities versus possibilities, have the ability to critically think, meaning differentiate things, find similarities, and also compare and contrast, and make logical decisions. So it's like y'all kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place answering certain questions that y'all truly know is facts. And not even truly know it's facts. Y'all know it's facts, but y'all just don't want to say it. It's like the electrodes in a clicker. Y'all feel the truth, y'all know the truth, but it's like, I don't feel right, so I'm not going to talk on that.
It's facts, but it depends on the man.
No, I don't think it's facts.
How do we know it's facts when you're the one that's speaking the statistics to us?
You could look it up and Google it.
All right, but we didn't look it up before we got here. We didn't know what the conversation was going to be about.
I'll have y'all all back on the panel.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah,
And,
because we didn't look up. We don't know what the conversation is going to be about. But you're spitting all these facts to us, and we're supposed to just take what your word is to be
don't take
true.
Don't take my word.
You're the one that's speaking the facts
not
and
only
the
that,
numbers.
it's not
right?
even. Sometimes I'm not even given like the actual statistic on it. I'm breaking it down logically in ways for y'all so y'all can interpret it. But y'all know it's true, but y'all still like think about it, right? Since women, can we all agree to this? Generally speaking, are women more emotional than men?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can all agree to that.
Yes.
You can't agree to that or no?
So, women tend to have more emotions than men.
Okay, got it. Now, right.
But I think that has nothing to do
with leadership. Okay, now let me explain. Let me make a
their
scenario.
ability to lead.
I got you. Let me make a scenario now, right? So since we all agree that women are more emotional than men, a leader, what's one of the qualities that a leader should have? Let's start with let's go name some qualities that a leader should have. Let's start with you. Let's name a few of them.
The ability to be fair and just.
What about yourself?
Resilience,
But fairness is not being just.
strong-minded.
Okay.
And that could be a man or a woman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Go ahead.
The way of how they would think.
Is fairness is not being just, correct? Y'all let me know in the comments.
That's how I feel.
Wait, what'd you say? Well, I
The
said
way
what's
they
one of the
think.
traits that a leader should have?
The way they think, they mindset. That's my biggest one, I feel like.
Okay, but mindset is a broad term. Explain, like, what type of mindset?
Okay, it
Like,
is.
if you looking for somebody to lead, looking for somebody to, like, make you feel, okay, if this person leading me, then I'm going to feel secure. I'm going to feel like, okay, he's doing what he has to do.
I had to look that up, y'all.
The
If I'm
feelings
wrong,
that-
I'm
you're
wrong. I just had
talking
to look
about
that
how
up.
a leader would make you feel. I'm talking about a trait.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, does a leader need to have integrity? What you say, what you do? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
like that too.
All right, I helped you out a little bit. What about you?
Assertiveness.
Assertiveness?
I
Okay.
was gonna say integrity, but
Okay.
yeah, I feel like
Okay. And now. I
Yeah,
got you.
that's true.
Now,
That's true.
Here's
Okay.
one of the things, the main thing y'all didn't mention. Yeah, y'all probably didn't want to mention. Y'all already answered that men generally are less emotional than women. So one of the main traits leaders need to have, the ability to make a logical decision instead of an illogical decision, which is based off their emotions. Because when you make an emotional decision, you lead people astray. That's just the fact. When you make an emotional decision, it's normally due to self. You're looking out of self-interest instead of what's best for the company or the business interests, right? That's why there hasn't been any, and I don't think that there will. I hope not. There won't ever be a woman president because she got a freaking button to click for the nuclear bombs. Like, what the heck? She on her period or something, or some person talked to her about, or a person says something that triggers her emotions. She's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm nuking them. I'm nuking all of Taiwan. What the heck? You done nuked the whole country. They all
That's
died." She's like,
bullshit.
And
well,
that's
they
how
all
you
bullshit.
feel. That's
bullshit.
your opinion.
That's bullshit.
That one's a little
That's
extreme.
more so a man-
That one's a little
that's more
extreme.
So something a man will do as opposed to a
No.
woman. But
You're,
we're not
you're
even
making
gonna
the
get
Nah,
assumption that
nah, I
women,
doubt
because
that.
they're
Not really.
emotional,
Men
cannot
are in
think
war all the time.
logically.
Women
And
are
that-
in war logically because
Women-
of finances
women
and
are
money.
very much
it's
logical
not for
thinkers.
an
So
emotional
what the
war.
all right,
Men
finances,
are in, like, proxy
and money,
wars.
but that's a logical way of thinking. Like you're fucking killing people, innocent people.
Well,
you're killing
it's very
just
simple,
because
right?
you're trying to line your pockets with money.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's
that's
immoral. No, I think it's immoral, but logical. Think if you have a mission, right? Let's say, okay, America first. The reason why that's a good saying that most people follow.
We're gonna end this at 20 minutes, y'all. We almost out of here.
Logical minds think that, oh, America first, so you're excluding all of these other countries. Well, guess what, baby girl? The world doesn't owe you understanding. Before agriculture and stuff came about, the world was much different. It's either eat or be eaten. You have to be the strong. Only the strong survive. We are all black right here in this room. Our ancestors, for the most part, I think, yeah, everyone all black and Caribbean. Pretty much, our all ancestors were slaves at one point in a certain part in Africa, right? So, we all know that. Well, the Africans and black people at a certain point in history, when if we go back thousands of years, they were like the leaders of the entire world. We know this, right? You raise your hands. We all know this. that black society thousands of years ago, when Kemet, before it was took over by Alexander the Great and named Egypt, when it was Kemet, it was kind of leading the world, right? Y'all understand history a little bit? No? Y'all
They don't know
well,
about
that.
that.
Is a fact, right? But what history never teaches you is why did black people like fail and become like, we're like, you know, underneath many other races. Like India is better than us. China is better than us. Russia is better than every other, doing better than, I'm talking about socioeconomically better than every other country in Africa, pretty much. So it's like, okay,
India
why
is doing
did
better?
what? India is a power. That's a first world country. India, China, Russia, America. What's some other ones, Steve? They're like first world countries.
Brazil.
Brazil. Well, is it Brazil a first world country?
Not first world. You're talking about monetary power.
Yeah. Brazil is a power, I guess.
I mean, yeah, they're one of the biggest stock exchanges.
The stock exchanges, you said?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest stock
Yeah. As far as that, but even if we're talking about military, I wouldn't say Brazil, but other countries.
Japan.
Israel. Japan. Yeah.
Well, actually, Japan don't, because America serves Israel.
Japan. America serves Japan. Yeah. Okay, but what I'm saying is like, at the end of the day, think about why Africa fell. Just think about that. I don't even have to speak about it, but that's something that I never even thought about. I'm not gonna. Should I say it?
Say it.
I'll go ahead and say it. This is
Okay,
just
say it
my
and then we out of here.
opinion.
Say it and then we
This
out of
is a
here.
fact.
Yeah.
This is cool.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all.
But okay, so you got to think about it. Africans, we was never united. Black people like to speak of all of this. Oh, we were united as a people. No. Africa is many countries, right? Many countries. And thousands of years ago, it was many nations and you know, let's say many nations and many monarchies, right? In Africa. So we all know that black people enslaved other black people before the white man and the Arabs even came. Mm-hmm. So now let's think about, why did black people, our ancestors we came from the ancestors that was enslaved by our own people, right? But it was much different thousands of years ago. It wasn't based off of color. Race, the word race that's a new term.
Right.
Like, no one cared about race. We cared about people, the people that we think alike. Is based off of character and our lineage. That's how the world operated. So black people sold other black people. So that means that our ancestors, the slaves over here, was the bottom of the barrel. The bottom of the barrel of black people, because they were enslaved by other black people. So they was weaker than the normal black people. Do you feel what I'm saying? So then they were slaves, and then the white people came over and bought them slaves, and some took some by force as well, right? And then we came over here. But think about why that happened, and think about why we didn't have the right weaponry. We didn't have guns or anything, but the white people, they had guns and everything. That's just because, guess what? Black people started getting to all the list. Black people in Africa started getting to a lot of spirituality things, and women started to, the nation became more feminized. That's what I want to say. So nations in Africa became more feminized when women, maybe if they weren't in actual physical leadership positions, they were in like their ideologies was leading. So men started adopting more feminized ideologies. So when you adopt more feminized ideologies,
makes you
you're
weaker,
incapable of leading. You're thinking more possibilities than improbabilities. You're thinking more feelings. We all know there's very effeminate men. Okay, those effeminate men can't lead. So how did those effeminate men become feminized? Well, they became feminized by an ideology that was purported and put on by someone that's either a man that was feminine, but who did that man get those feminine traits from? A woman. It came from a woman, is what I'm saying. That's what it came from. You think a masculine man is gonna instill feminine traits into another man? No, he's instilling masculine traits into that other man. He's not instilling feminine traits.
So my thing is, all right.
We're gonna stop it there.
For example, Rome.
I'm not trying to cut them off, but great convo. I honestly, y'all, this is really just to shed some light on No Fugazee Podcast. A lot of interesting conversations, and people aren't getting disrespected. I said this in our last video. I just appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate the fact that, and y'all see this too. If y'all seen my short that blew up kind of, 8.3K, over 100 some comments, 200 some likes, a lot of feedback from people. But you don't see me disrespect not one person in that comment section, because it's not what this is about. It doesn't build the kingdom of God, which is what I'm all about. Same thing here. We're trying to build the kingdom. We're actually trying to form more togetherness. But in order for that to happen, we got to think on one accord. Not think exactly the same, but think on one accord. You bring your ideas along with my ideas, and together we can get on a set path, right? And create success for ourselves. So this is great, man. I love this. Cooley, man, I love this. Love No Fugazee Podcast, man. Y'all go and check it out. If y'all did enjoy this video, make sure y'all smash the like button. I did not plan for this to be 25 minutes. But thank y'all so much if you did watch the whole video, man. And let me know your feedback. Let me know what's going on in the comment section. I got something new I'm about to get ready to do on my channel real quick before I let y'all go. I'm about to start ranking my videos. So y'all let me know in the comment section also of this video, what's your favorite video on the channel? And we're going to start ranking them. So when people come to the channel, they know what are the best videos from y'all that they need to watch to get them tapped in, get them locked into the reality of Jvrse, man. So their reality can meet face to face with them. But I will get up with y'all in the next video, man. I greet y'all with the words peace and love.